You with one of the most exciting fighters that ever graced the square circle, Prince Naseem. I always that you and that like tree. The Roy
Yeah,
Jones Jr., Prince Naseem, the Showman, the Camacho, Tio. That's like the tree
yeah.
of where you at. There's not a lot of
And
showmen.
he gave
Talk.
me some pointers because I be asking my guys that I admire truthfully in this game. And I asked him, and he gave me a good key, bro. Y'all, I'm sorry, he gave me. But then I asked him, like, all right, what's the one thing I should do, though? He's like, you're one of my favorite fighters that I watch. And I was like, what? Ain't no way. He said, yeah. He was like, but this is what I'm gonna help you with. And he told me what to do as far as for training. He says, and when you throw those shots, you're gonna feel like you never meant to hurt them.
We could be in a situation where both these guys kind of coasting through the rounds, but Teo's finding moments to steal moments in every round and steal rounds and actually win on the scorecard simply because he did just a little bit more, simply because he was just a little bit more active.
So I'm just hoping that he's 100% back and focused. And man, when he's focused, that guy is dangerous, you know? So if he's focused, fuck, we're having a great fight. We're having a good fight. And you can't blink because both of these guys have power.
This fight shifts the moment as Teofimo Lopez opens his mouth and exposes the secret technique Prince Naseem says can help him dominate Shakur Stevenson, sending shockwaves through the boxing world. And a direct message to Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez is revealing powerful guidance straight from Prince Naseem Hamed, one of boxing's true legends. Teofimo opens up about how they met, the secret technique Naseem shared, and why he believes it's the key to beating Shakur Stevenson. With this revelation, the energy around this fight feels completely different than expected, and Teofimo is promising to use that technique on fight night, not just to surprise everyone, but to dominate Shakur Stevenson.
He gave me some pointers because I be asking my guys that I admire truthfully in this game. And I asked him, and he gave me a good key, bro. Y'all, I'm sorry, he gave me. One thing when I meet these great champions, great legends, fighters that are still walking on the face of the earth, really, right? When it was just here, I always ask them. And the crazy thing was, I was actually geeked out meeting Prince Naseem Hamed. I don't really get geeked out with nobody, but I was like, oh shoot,
That's Prince.
I was like, no freaking yo, and I'm with Billy Dibb, and him and Billy Dibb, pretty much since Billy was a small kid.
Teofimo's antics and athletic flair have long drawn comparisons to Prince Naseem, especially the way he steps into the ring and performs that signature flip, clearly showing the inspiration he takes from one of boxing's most admired legends. Teofimo has now revealed that Billy Dibb, a man who has known Prince Naseem since childhood, has also been working closely with him. Reflecting on their meeting, Teofimo Lopez confirms Prince Naseem's direct involvement in his preparation, insisting that the key Naseem has given him is designed to exploit Shakur Stevenson's weaknesses and help him dominate in a truly devastating fashion.
Has known Prince Naseem, trained with Prince when Prince was still in his prime. So, but like all those things, and I went to. I was like, I'm sorry, yo. I need your autograph, though. I don't do this a lot, but I was like, I need your autograph. So he says to Teofimo, be the best. I was. And then he just, he wrote his signature. But then I asked him, like, all right, what's the one thing I should do, though? He's like, you're one of my favorite fighters that I watch. And I was like, what? Ain't no way. He said, yeah. He was like, but this is what I'm gonna help you with. And he told me what to do as far as for training. He says, and when you throw those shots, you're gonna feel like you never meant to hurt them. And they're just gonna go down.
Adding to the anticipation, Teofimo says this fight is going to be something special. He reveals that even his ring walk will be inspired by Prince Naseem, setting the tone before a single punch is thrown. Beyond the guidance he's receiving from Naseem, Teofimo insists he's entering the ring fully locked in and ready to dominate Shakur Stevenson. In his view, the strategy is simple but dangerous. Throw punches in ways that truly hurt Shakur, using an explosiveness he believes will be completely unexpected on fight night.
And then, I was able to ask him more questions, but true humble guy, really, really amazing on how he is. He's like, no, I'm not. No, he's like, I didn't want to go to the gala. I didn't want to take everybody's light, you know, because that's how he is. He's like,
Yeah, he know how to steal. He know how to steal the show.
he know how to steal the show. Like his aura is so huge, bro. Like in that sense that he just walk in the room, everybody turn around, break their neck. It's crazy.
Hey yo, are we ever gonna see Teofimo Lopez with the carpet? You know, coming from the raffles like Prince Naseem did. Are we gonna see something like that?
Yo, I was telling him, I was like, yo, I've been explaining this to Top Rank for some time, man. I want to, like, you inspired me to bring that back into boxing. We need that more.
Building on the growing intrigue around this matchup, Shawn Porter has now shifted his stance ahead of Teofimo Lopez's fight with Shakur Stevenson. The two-time world champion explains that while Shakur remains disciplined and true to his style, Teofimo simply has more ways to win. Lopez can fight defensively, force Shakur to come forward, or suddenly explode with sharp counters and leaping shots that change the rhythm. Porter also sees a scenario where the fight stays tactical, but Teofimo steals key moments in each round. By doing just a little more, Lopez could quietly sway the scorecards in what remains a very close matchup.
I think there's more avenues to victory for Teofimo Lopez than there is for Shakur.
I agree.
Because Shakur is so set in who he is, and I absolutely love it straight up and down. But it's gonna be so hard to pull him out of who he is. And the other side of that is Teofimo can go the defensive route. He can go to force you to at least walk towards him. And Shakur will plot forward, you know, still ready defensively. You know, and then Teo also has the ability to, you know, do that pouncing, for the sake of word, situation where he can come in and come out, you know, big right hands, you know, big leaping left hooks, and, you know, leaping in punches and stuff like that. I like to think it's 50-50.
Despite being one of Shakur Stevenson's strongest advocates, Shawn Porter is now sounding a note of caution ahead of this matchup. He maintains that at his very best, Shakur is nearly impossible to deal with. However, Porter also highlights concerns from Stevenson's recent outing against Zepeda, where excessive movement and moments spent lingering in the pocket created avoidable risks. Against someone as explosive and unpredictable as Teofimo Lopez, those habits could be costly. Teofimo's power, combined with his awkward timing and sudden attacks, presents a level of danger that Shakur cannot afford to underestimate.
Shakur gonna always be Shakur. The offense that we saw from him in his last fight was just, he knew what he had in front of him, and eventually he knew that he was going to be in a position where he could have his way with the kid who was in the ring. I'm losing his name off the top of my head.
Right, I know you're talking about. But I believe he that way because he started hearing all the call of him running. He started saying, you know what? Let me stay in the pocket, because he stood in the pocket a lot more than he normally stood in the pocket with that fight. You know what I'm saying?
It took some unnecessary shots.
Huh?
It took unnecessary shots.
Well, okay, right. But you see what kind of fan base he got after that too. The doubters started saying, you know what? I'm gonna roll with him more, because we were getting tired of him running and skillfully beating people.
Shawn Porter further emphasizes that Teofimo Lopez's twitchy, explosive athleticism is what makes him so dangerous and difficult to read, especially for a fighter like Shakur Stevenson. He breaks down how the fight could play out, focusing on Shakur's likely reactions and the variety of looks Teofimo is expected to bring into the ring. In Porter's view, that unpredictability gives Lopez more possible routes to victory in this matchup. Still, Shakur's near-flawless defense remains a major factor, continuing to captivate fans and analysts alike and reinforcing his status as one of the elite athletes in boxing today.
The difference is when he turns it on, is he's delivered that power to a point where we actually sit back and we, all right, round after round, like, all right, he's losing these rounds. He knows he's losing these rounds, but let's just wait on it. And then eventually comes the big kaboom.
Well, that's what we want to see, man. We want to see kabooms.
Okay. Last thing I'm gonna say on this fight, though, I think there's more avenues to victory for Teofimo Lopez than there is for Shakur.
I agree.
Because Shakur is so set in who he is, and I absolutely love it straight up and down. But it's gonna be so hard to pull him out of who he is. And the other side of that is Teofimo can go the defensive route. He can go to force you to at least walk towards him.
Adding to the discussion, renowned coach Jose Benavidez Sr. emphasizes that this is a fight no one can afford to blink in. Both fighters bring serious power and elite skill, making every moment high stakes. Benavidez highlights that Teofimo Lopez is a natural showman, and when fully focused, he becomes extremely dangerous. Anyone expecting him to underperform will be surprised. With guidance from boxing legend Prince Naseem and his focus away from personal distractions, Teofimo has the chance to deliver a standout performance and assert his dominance over Shakur Stevenson.
At what he does. But I think with Teofimo, what I've seen, he's been going through a lot of problems. And I'm with him because, at the end of the day, you grow with these guys and you see what they go through, and they have so much talent and they just lose a little bit of focus, and boxing will make you pay for that, So I'm just hoping that he's 100% back and focused. And man, when he's focused, that guy is dangerous, So if he's focused, fuck, we're having a great fight. We're having a good fight. And you can't blink because both of these guys have power.
Viewing this matchup as a 50-50 battle, Jose Benavidez Sr. asserts that both fighters have the tools to win, but the one who comes in better prepared and free from injuries will likely dominate. He notes that, unlike Shakur Stevenson, who has had some issues highlighted by analysts like Tim Bradley, Teofimo Lopez appears fully focused and ready. In other words, Benavidez is clearly leaning toward Teofimo, believing that his preparation, combined with his skill and power, gives him the edge to come out on top in this fight.
Both of them are so good, and like I said, whoever shows up that night is the one that's going to be more focused and take that fight. In my opinion, I think it's a 50-50 fight. It could go either way. Like I said, whoever can stay focused and come 100% prepared, no injuries, is the one.
Adding on, showbiz. The adult also raises concerns about Shakur Stevenson's preparation, highlighting a recurring vulnerability in his game: his hands. He recalls past bouts where Shakur had to fight almost one-handed, managing to get through, but the risk remains. With a history of hand issues, there's a real chance that Stevenson may not perform at his usual level. Against a fighter as explosive and unpredictable as Teofimo Lopez, any recurrence of these problems could be critical, potentially turning what should be a close fight into a costly setback for Shakur.
This is what I do. What I do is, he had a fat knuckle against De Los Santos. Okay, he was fighting one-handed. How did he fight? It looked like that. Do you know anybody else who fought one-handed? Yeah, Roy Jones against Bernard Hopkins. Yeah, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Pitbull. It looked like that. Okay, fine. So let me assess when things aren't perfect for him and when things aren't perfect for everybody else. Okay, fine. Now that we got that, what happened after that? He hurt his other hand in preparation for his next fight. Okay, so he got fragile hands. Yeah. How did he look in that fight? Okay, fine. How did he look against Padley? He hit Padley and he did this. Okay, so he has hand issues. Keep that in mind, because there's a good chance he won't be 100% when he moves up to 140 to fight Teo. Keep that in mind.
On the other hand, as predictions continue to roll in, Norman Bryan Jr. has shared his take. While he respects Teofimo Lopez's style and the guidance he's receiving, he believes Shakur Stevenson will emerge victorious. Bryan sees Shakur as a fighter built on discipline and relentless energy, someone who shows up fully focused no matter the circumstances. Even against a powerhouse like Teofimo, he expects Shakur to demonstrate his mastery in the ring, using patience, strategy, and composure to secure the win.
Now, I think that's going to be a wonderful fight, to be real with you, but I feel like Shakur going to pull it off. And the reason being is because of discipline. Like, you look at Shakur as a whole, he don't care about getting booed. He don't care about anything like that. He care about winning. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Y'all tried to boo him for the Edwin De Los Santos fight. Yeah. And y'all trying to downplay him and things of that nature. But look, y'all looking at him, ready to watch him fight again versus Teofimo. Would you look at that? Right. You feel me? Right. But no matter what, who hand was raised. So I feel like Shakur gonna get that. And Teo, I ain't trying to take nothing from him. I feel like he's a great fighter as well, very athletic, very talented, and skillful as well. But I just feel like the patience of Shakur is what's gonna do it.
Furthermore, Brian points out that Shakur Stevenson's discipline and patience, along with his ability to stay calm when an opponent is moving, could frustrate Teofimo Lopez, drawing him into a trap. He references Teofimo's fight with Jermaine Ortiz as an example of how Lopez can struggle when pressured and forced into difficult positions. Similarly, Brian believes Shakur can perform under pressure, as he did in his last bout with William Zepeda. Taking all of this into account, Brian leans strongly toward Shakur Stevenson to come out on top in this battle.
Not necessarily anything, I won't say anything else at all, just straight up patience of Shakur. He don't mind just stealing you off on one and just moving. He don't mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna make Teofimo more eager and overzealous. Like, look at him versus, what's the dude's name?
Jermaine Ortiz?
Yeah, Jermaine Ortiz, you feel me? He was trying to force it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where Shakur will try to take advantage. But who knows? Shakur may be on trying to be on some pressure stuff. Like you seen, yeah, you seen. So maybe he trying to prove a point as well. And maybe he running high off the Terrence Crawford Canelo thing. He probably trying to prove a point like him and do something with it. So it's really a toss up. But for the most part, leaning towards Shakur.
While Brian referenced Teofimo's fight with Jermaine Ortiz as an example, Ortiz himself also weighs in. Having shared the ring with Lopez, he offers a clear warning. Teofimo needs to master cutting off the ring during his training, and fast. Ortiz points to their own matchup, where Lopez struggled to make crucial adjustments and cautions that repeating those mistakes could be costly. With Shakur Stevenson standing across from him now, Ortiz believes Teofimo faces a far tougher challenge. Stevenson's skill, discipline, and ring IQ far surpass anything Lopez encountered in their fight.
I think it's a good matchup. I think Shakur will win the fight. And yeah, I think we'll see the best of both that night.
When people do break down this fight, a lot of people take your fight with Teofimo into account. Do you think he struggled particularly? I think it's obvious that he struggled particularly like your style and Shakur, and he will struggle with Shakur's style, like based off of, I guess, of your fight.
Yeah, hopefully during training camp they learn how to cut off the ring.
Reflecting on his time in the ring with Teofimo Lopez, Jermaine Ortiz challenges the notion that Lopez is unpredictable. According to Ortiz, everything Teofimo did in their fight was something he had anticipated. There were no real surprises. Facing a fighter of Shakur Stevenson's caliber, Ortiz believes Teofimo will find it even harder to land clean, powerful shots. He warns that Lopez must be mentally ready for the possibility of a tough defeat, as Shakur's skill, precision, and ring IQ present a challenge unlike anything Teofimo has faced before.
We'll see. I think I don't. It's gonna be hard for Teofimo to get in some punches off on Shakur, but we'll see.
I guess asking you, being in the ring with Teofimo, was there anything that surprised you with him in terms of not the success you had, but like, was there anything you thought would be hard or anything that he did that you didn't expect?
No, everything, training camp went so well for that fight that everything I seen, I already expected and seen it coming.
And there you have it. Experts weighing in, some leaning toward Shakur, others toward Teofimo, and the stakes just keep rising with every passing day. Now all eyes are on how Teofimo plans to exploit Shakur Stevenson with the secret technique he received from boxing legend Prince Naseem Hamed. Everything comes down to one question: how and will Teofimo truly dominate Shakur Stevenson? We want to hear from you. What do you think? Will Prince Naseem's guidance help Teofimo shine on fight night? Or will Shakur prove why he's one of boxing's elite? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update on this matchup leading up to January 31st.